we can talk about how thin the Toshiba Portege Z830 is, but I'd rather show you a little example. It's so thin that this door can pass right over it without even touching. That's thin. So here's a new Toshiba Portege Z830. Let's take a look at it real quick. You see the front has a camera and mic. Has a power button, an eco-friendly button, allows you to change the settings, dim the screen, turn off the keyboard, backlit light really quickly. You have a projector button so you can quickly swap the screens if you have a projector plugged in. You have a full QWERTY keyboard, water resistant, so it takes some light spills. It's backlit, so in the dark you can still see your keys. See that? So the keys are backlit, and you can see clearly the numbers, the letters, but what you cannot see is the function keys. But what's nice is if you press the function button here on the screen, it'll show you what the options are available with that particular key. But we'll log in. Okay, so I'll just log in with my finger. You see it also has facial recognition, but we'll bypass that. Okay, so you have the backlit. We'll turn the lights back on. Okay, so it's a Core i7 Intel processor inside, Windows 7. You have the ability to turn this touchpad on and off with this switch here. Full buttons for clicking and right clicking. You have your power indicators, lights, arrow keys, page up and page down, home. So let us take a look at the ports that are available on the Toshiba Portege Z830. We have here on the right side a 3.0 USB slot. Also there's a security slot so that you can put a cable on and lock the device down. Attach it to some type of desk or pole or whatever, so someone can just walk off with it. You have a full LAN support, LAN port. This fan here, this area here is for airflow to be sucked up from the bottom and distributed out the back. You have two 2.0 USB slots there, an HDMI slot, full HDMI, the power, and a VGA RGB port on the back. Finishing off on the left side, we have the speaker, your microphone and your speaker port, and then a full SD slot. On the front, it's hard to see, but you can see these little light indicators. Indicates what your battery life is. And then right under it, you have a slot there on the left and a slot there on the right that are your stereo speakers. So again, those are the ports available on the Toshiba Portege Z830. This is Carl Brooks with IamThereForIPad.com, and I'm taking a quick look at the Toshiba Z830. That's the Toshiba Portege Z830. And specifically looking at the ports. Right now I have all the ports in use. I have a SD card in the slot. I have headphones and mic hooked up with the standard microphone and speaker jacks here. I have a VGA cable plugged in, the power, full HDMI cable. I have a USB which is plugged to my optional Toshiba DVD RW. I can do both CDs and DVDs, read and write. I have a mouse that's plugged into the second 2.0 USB slot. I have a full LAN port. Even though it has Wi-Fi, you have the option to plug in if you don't have Wi-Fi available. And then I also have a USB 3.0, which also acts as a standard USB. In this case, I'm using a standard 2.0 device, but I could use a 3.0 device there as well. So again, all the ports are in use here. And so that's how it would look if you had every port in use. Here is the Toshiba Portege Z830 hooked up to a 50-inch screen via the HDMI cable and the port. See here? So why would you need a HDMI cable hooked onto the back of your computer? Well, you can take that cable, run it up to your 50-inch or whatever size computer you have or TV you have, and now I can play the music, the videos, the movies, the music, whatever media I have on my computer, I can display on my large screen. So you see here, I'm playing a movie that's on my computer. Now currently I have the screen off here, but on there. I could close that and have that still work there. Okay? So I just opened and closed this. When I open this back up, it put the extended screen up here and the main screen back on the Z830. So I can start my movie again. See, my movie is here. But I can hit this screen here and I can make that projector only. Try it again. Take my mouse, click it on projector only, and now instead of being here, my screen is projected there, and I can continue to watch my movie here on the big screen. I mean, just look how thin this Toshiba is. It's ridiculously thin. And when you compare that to this netbook, which is clearly a little smaller, but is so underpowered it's not usable at all, and you look at the bigger laptops, there's just no need to or desire to want to carry these heavy laptops anymore. I mean, the Toshiba is thinner and smaller than the base, or even, I mean, if we look at it this way, that looks a little thicker. On the thinnest end, it's really almost the same thickness. Even at the thick end, on this machine, this thing is smaller than just the LCD display. Okay? So, imagine whatever laptop you have today. This is a 17-inch here, so that's much bigger, being this is a 13-inch screen. But imagine just taking off this LCD on the laptop you have today, and that's all you have with your Toshiba. Incredible. So clearly there's a lot to like about the Toshiba Portege Z830. But do I have any gripes about it? Yeah, I could be picky. It has a couple of things. I'd say 3 things that I really don't like about it. The main thing to me is these pointy corners. Oh my goodness, these things are, when you're sitting there typing, reaching, this thing is digging into your palms. Wow, you could have rounded those corners and took that discomfort away completely. Is it a showstopper? Absolutely not. But they could have done away with these round corner. These pointed, sharp corners. The other thing that I don't like is the back. This port. You see this tear in here that's designed to hold the tab for your LAN port. That thing can snag onto your clothing depending on what type of a suit or pants you're wearing. If you're sitting on the bed spread, those things can definitely, you hear that? Those things can grab and snag and tear things. It would have made more sense to just flip that so that it was flat on the bottom and the tab be on the top versus having it that way. I think that would have made for a better design. And then lastly, you don't hear it now because I just turned it off, but as the air gets sucked through this thing here, it makes a noise. Now under normal circumstances, when you're out and about, airport, office, you don't hear anything because all the other noises are louder. But in this environment, it can be pretty loud. So I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna be quiet for a while. You can hear this hum immediately as soon as I open this up. So in a quiet room with just you and your Portege Z or the Z830, that noise can be a little irritating, especially when you're just you get the use of carrying an iPod or iPad, other things that has SSD, no moving parts. You just get used to not having that sound. It's just a constant hum. But that's it. The sharp corners, the sound coming from that suction in of the air and pushing out of the back, and the LAN port. That's the only gripes I have about it. Otherwise, it is just packed full of features, ports, functionality, portability, everything you want in a mobile PC is there and available. So I love it. This is Carl Brooks with IamThereforeIPad.com as well as TechLoyal.com saying I'll see you on the web.